Hello guys and gals of the internet, I am the Simicast of YouTube, Twitch TV and Mixer.com. It is January the 1st, 2018, so happy new year to one and all, and welcome to my New Year's update, where I basically go across the board of all my platforms and mention my kind of rough plans for 2018. This is what I'm planning to do. I can't really give you times and things like that because I never stick to schedules these days. I never have at all, but this is kind of a rough idea on what I plan to do throughout 2018 on YouTube and on stream as well. And to that, the first thing we should really talk about before we do anything here is my capture situation. Now, if you remember from the update I did at the end of November, I basically said that I'm not really going to be using the HD60 Pro anymore because the HD60 Pro presented me with some issues with the live commentary feature on it that actually made the commentary very distorted and glitchy and crackly. It was like and all that bad stuff. So it was getting really bad even on the newest versions. And I actually just came to the conclusion that it was the capture card rather than the mic or the software. So I pretty much dropped it. And basically, I'm sort of back. You guys have already seen the videos most recent that I've put up of Life is Strange Before the Storm and The Wolf Among Us. You'll know that that has now been resolved. I've basically gone back to an HD60 and Blue Snowball microphone, which incidentally I actually used when I actually returned from my PC being fixed. So I'm actually going back to like maybe 3 years ago, back to this old setup. Now the reason I've gone for the HD60 is really very simple. The HD60 original as opposed to the HD60S, and I'm not sure why it has this. The HD60 original has an encoder in it that allows you to use a feature called Master Copy in Elgato's software. And what that basically allows me to do is to stream and record at the same time. Like, it allows me to stream at whatever mbit you choose to stream at, say 2.25 for example, and you can press record and Master Copy will activate, which basically means you can stream and you can record at your quality video set recording for videos you set it at, and neither side loses an inch of quality. And I actually tested this last night during a stream and it seems to work great. Despite being on a less powerful capture card than the most recent ones, the HD60, it works like a dream with it almost. So right now I'm going to actually say that even if you're not a subscriber to the channel, I will post my links on YouTube and obviously YouTube and Twitter and Discord and all that good stuff. I'll post it everywhere. So even if you're not a subscriber to the channel, you're more of a Twitch or Mixer viewer, I suggest you stick around because this video is going to cover all those bases as well, and I will be doing a lot of streaming and recording at the same time with various things. It's not going to be for everything, but you don't have to subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Just watch this video if you're a stream viewer to know all that I'm doing on that side as well. So everyone who is anywhere, stick around and let's get started. So Street Fighter V is actually going to be the first big thing that the stream coding, I'm calling it, is going to be implemented in. Because as you know, Street Fighter V's Arcade Edition launches on January the 16th, 2018. And I think that that date in particular is going to be the official launch of the full game Street Fighter V. As you know, when Street Fighter V came out, it really launched with bare bones content, no arcade mode, very lackluster story modes, and basically online. Basically, Capcom decided to kind of release the game to the hardcore fighting game player and not really much for casuals to do. It's taken them maybe 2-3 years, but we finally got there. The Arcade Edition is going to include an arcade mode. Hallelujah, you know, an arcade mode in a fighting game. It's taken them 3 years to do it. What the hell? But it's there, you know. Capcom, to be fair, they've stuck with Street Fighter V, they've stuck by it. They know that the sales have not been great, but they've made it better as time has gone on. And we're finally coming to the launch of the full Street Fighter V when the Arcade Edition launches. Yes, we've had to do this arcade mode thing again, but you know, at least it's all there, and I think the sales should be much better when it launches. I can certainly hope so. I hope it does, because this game, like I said, I do have its niggles, but it is overall still a really good game and fun game to play, and I've been playing it a lot recently. But as I said at the end of my Akuma Madness, I wasn't really interested in much of the Season 2 content, and that still held true, at least until Ed came out. And then I started to kind of see how all the other characters were doing from various streamers, and I was like, I ended up buying all the Season 2 characters anyway, weirdly enough. I liked Colleen. I liked the whole thing that Colleen was like the assistant of Gil. I liked the fact that she was she was part of the game. I loved Ed. I absolutely loved Ed. The way he played, the way he plays is various easy mode. You know, he's not particularly difficult in terms of combos and inputs and things like that. As you guys know, I suffer from cerebral palsy, so I struggle with directional inputs. I don't struggle with doing the special moves, but I more struggle with the timings and the inputs of special moves during combos. But Ed doesn't play like that. Ed plays very face button centric. He rarely has an input to put in, and his stuff's relatively simple. As opposed to most other characters where I completed just 2 of their trials, with Ed, I only had 2 missing. I only couldn't do 2 of his trial combos. Hilarious, right? But Ed is pretty much easy mode of the game, but he's fun as hell with that in mind, actually. One thing I am going to do throughout at some point in 2018, after Season 3 is dropped, is an Ed Madness, because pretty much the Arcade Edition mode of Street Fighter V, or the Arcade Edition of Street Fighter V, is pretty much going to be a reset of the game. I think the whole game is going to be completely reset. You're obviously going to get the arcade mode, the extra battle mode, I think it's called. The characters are going to get rebalanced. They're going to add new V-triggers. I think all the characters have a second V-trigger. I think it works very similar to the Ultras in Street Fighter 4, except it works with the V-triggers this time. You're going to get character rebalancing, new additions, probably some new moves. I've seen a trailer or something of Bison doing a Psycho Crusher, which is one of his basic moves, and he wasn't in the basic, like, the first moveset, so they finally added that. It's funny how most of the stuff is being implemented later when it should have been in the game, but like I said, it's taken 2 or 3 years to get here, but at least we have got here. And like I said, with Season 3's content, I am miles more excited for it than I was with any of Season 2, and I think the main reason for that is because of the characters that are coming out for it. Sakura is first. Hashtag Free Sakura has worked. She's in this goddamn game. Thank God. And she's the first character to come out. So, you guys know that I'll be stream recording that. And I'll be obviously streaming it when it comes out, pretty much, I think. I'll be pretty much streaming it when the Arcade Edition launches. I have the game, so I'll get the Arcade Edition update for free. If you don't have the game, you can buy the Arcade Edition as a standalone kind of purchase, so that means you'll get the arcade mode, the extra battle mode, and all the Season 1 and 2 characters that come with the game, but obviously you'll probably have to buy the Season 3 character pass, but I'm more than willing to do that, considering it's not just Sakura in the game. They're putting Cody, they're putting Sagat, and they're putting Blanca, all kind of Street Fighter staples, and then you've got Falk and G. Now, I'm very intrigued to see how Falk plays, because Falk actually appears with Ed in the Season 3 trailer, and she kind of stands next to Ed, so I'm wondering if she's going to play very similarly to Ed in that regard or not. So she's going to be very interesting. For G, I think he could be more like a Zeku, like a really strange character that has this strange moveset, like Zeku does, when he transforms into one of the Strider group. He has like 2 forms and 2 fighting styles. I reckon G could be something like that. But yeah, Cody, Blanca, Sagat, Sakura, perfect. The only thing I would say is please do not mess Cody up. He had the best theme from Street Fighter 4, and some great moves. Don't mess him up, please. We already had this with Juri, and yes, Season 2 Juri is much better than Season 1 Juri, so I guess he could probably get better over time. But yes, I am very excited for the launch of Street Fighter V, and I'm much more interested in the Season 3 content than I ever was for Season 2, even though I did end up buying all the characters anyway. But yes, January 16th is definitely a day I'll be on stream for Sakura Madness, and I'll be most definitely recording Sakura Madness for YouTube. Sakura looks incredibly good. She looks great. She's got her stage, which is great. She's got most of her moves from Street Fighter 4. She basically, most of her moves stem from Street Fighter 4. Which is good, because I love Sakura in Street Fighter 4. She might even be better than she was in Street Fighter 4. I actually think she might be. So, yeah, Sakura, first fighter out. Great looking, great moves. Yeah, just everything. She just looks so good. And I just can't wait to do that. So, Sakura Madness is definitely coming for YouTube, as well as streaming it for the day to see all the new stuff that is in Street Fighter 5. So yes, almost everything from Season 3 is going on YouTube for Street Fighter 5. And I said if Sakura was out, I'd definitely do that. But it's not just Sakura, it's Sagat, it's Blanca, it's Cody. Falcon G interests me a lot more than most of the characters in Season 2 did. So yeah, pretty much everywhere. Pretty much Street Fighter 5 for the next year is going to be everything, pretty much, that comes out for Season 3. I'm really excited for it. So yeah, it's going to be all Street Fighter 5 in 2018, at least until Dragon Ball FighterZ comes out. I'll mention that later. Alright, so next to talk about is NBA 2K18. I got this for Christmas, thanks to Lady Tom Lord for giving the money as a birthday present? A Christmas present, sorry. It's not my birthday yet. Not yet anyway, but yeah, I got this as a Christmas present. I think NBA 2K18 for the most part is going to be streamed, because the NBA season, I don't really have a favorite team outright, not really. I mean, I smallly support the Bulls and the Thunder. I'm a bigger fan of the San Antonio Spurs because I really like Greg Popovich, but I don't really have a team. I don't really have a team, not like in FIFA with football with Manchester United. I don't really have that sort of team that I follow in NBA, but you guys know that since NBA 2K11, I have loved the NBA 2K series. 2K11 was such a big draw with the Jordan Challenge and Michael Jordan being on the cover of the game and being in the game to be played as him, and various versions as him, because Michael Jordan is by far my favorite basketball player, who I only knew really about from Space Jam first, weirdly enough. But NBA 2K, in terms of presentation, in terms of authenticity, in terms of immersion, in terms of just feeling like you're watching a basketball game on TV, NBA 2K is second to none. Its presentation, especially in the last couple of years, NBA 2K's presentation feel, with its commentary and its pregame show with Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny Smith, and all the kind of commentary and the people that are in it, it's second to none. It's witty, it's funny, it's informative, it's interesting. Just everything NBA 2K in terms of presentation has just been great for 7 years. It's trumped by none. NBA Live went through that kind of thing where it was good for a while. I played NBA Live 7 to 10, and then it really tanked with Elite 11 being absolute garbage. Then it took a year. I think it took a year out. Then 13 came out. It wasn't really that good. 14 came out. Wasn't really that good. And to be fair to EA, it's kind of slowly getting there, but I don't think it's anywhere near 2K in terms of presentation yet. That's in terms of presentation. The gameplay of the game is very different to NBA 2K17, to its credit. They made steals a lot more difficult because the steal was so overpowered in NBA 2K17, so they made that a bit more difficult. You can't just burst into the paint anymore because you lose the ball very easily in 2K18 and turn the ball over very easily by doing that. So they've changed that well. The thing, once again, that bugs me about NBA 2K games, and this has been a thing since probably 2K13, is its shooting. Now, the shooting in NBA 2K11 was not really too hard, but it wasn't really too easy either. It was almost perfect, the shooting in NBA 2K11. But I think since they put a shot meter in a few years back, the 2K shooting has got progressively worse. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know whether it's just me just not knowing release times, but more often than not in 2K games, and especially this one, I'm missing open jumpers, and the CPU is making highly contested ones. The more difficult the shot is in NBA 2K, the better chance it has to fall for some reason. Even the CPU is missing wide open threes and wide open mid-range jumpers. It's kind of weird how that really works. The shooting, again, is the worst thing about NBA 2K. It really is. NBA 2K, again, with its shooting, is just bad. It's like, ugh. You know, it's like, oh my goodness. Layups are so incredibly hard to make in NBA 2K18. I think that's the real big difference in the shooting, is the layups. They're so much harder to make. You could have 3 consecutive layups miss. It's again, the shooting as a whole just isn't there. It just isn't there with 2K for some reason. I don't know whether it's because they're intentionally doing that. Maybe I could see that. You know, they changed the shot meter, they changed the shot releases, they changed the steals. But the shooting is just still not there. It's still not there. You need to be able to make a wide open three most of the time. And definitely in mid-range, it's about 90% of the time. But I'm just missing wide open shots, but the CPU is making everything. Again, it's just inconsistency with sports game CPUs. And it'll go into a bit of like the next game. But sport game CPUs are just very inconsistent for some reason. I'm not really sure what that is. It's really strange, but it doesn't diminish my love for NBA 2K as a series. It's kind of... I've kind of loved this WWE 2K18 because I've been watching a lot of Wes YT13's WWE stuff because it's immense. But the game to me just feels like it doesn't get the same treatment as NBA does. Now, to be fair, NBA is kind of 2K's flagship game, you know, it gets the most attention, it has the better graphics, it has the better kind of gameplay aesthetics, mostly. You know, it has the My Team, it has the Pro-Am, it has all the modes and things like that, but 2K WWE doesn't feel, it just looks and feels to me like it doesn't get the same treatment. I'm not a big fan of the graphics in NBA WWE 2K18. I think it's a step down, which is weird, because in 2K like 15, 16, and 17 they were relatively good, but I don't think John Cena looks that great. He has like this weird mouth in 2K18 for some reason. I can just tell, and while I'm watching those videos, they're great. I just think as a game, WWE 2K18 just doesn't get the same treatment for me. And it's understandable, like I said, NBA 2K is kind of the flagship series for 2K, but at least give WWE a bit more attention, I guess. You know, be a bit more even in your attention. It's very much the same with EA and FIFA and NBA Live. You know, FIFA gets much of the same treatment, like much more treatment in terms of graphics and gameplay and game modes. And NBA EA just falls a bit, like, relatively flat. And again, with NBA NBA Live is getting there, I think. I think last year was probably the best in gameplay aesthetics, but graphically it's just not there for me yet. You know, and the commentary is not as good, and it's not, yeah, but it's the same thing like I said with FIFA. It gets more attention from EA than NBA does. It's kind of the reverse when you think of NBA and WWE, for instance. Anyway, speaking of EA and FIFA, you guys already know what's going on with that. I had to restart the Coach Pop Era Season 1 playthrough because of commentary problems mid-season, which had the commentary crackling and disorientation thanks to the HD60 Pro, so I had to restart it. And it's going okay, I guess. I've only got like one game up. I've got another 2 games to edit at some point. I will get this done. But I'm going to tell you guys, in terms of gameplay, I think FIFA 18 is the worst FIFA game I've played so far. But having said that, don't yell at me here. Let me finish. Having said that, I understand why. One of the worst things about FIFA 18 is the passing. And I think that's intentional, because I'm going to be the first to admit, I use semi-passing settings. I don't use assisted because I find it very restrictive in what you can do with it. But it was still immensely overpowered, the passing, in FIFA 16 and 17 in particular. The passing was overpowered, so they've toned it down. Unfortunately, they've turned it down to a point where it sucks. I mean, in my opinion, it's terrible. I lose the ball so easily, and even if I'm trying to make a guy, a simple pass to a guy fucking 2 feet in front of me, it doesn't pull off. Some reason the game will pass it over the guy you wanted to pass it to, or maybe just don't pass it to the guy at all. I want to pass to, say, Paul Pogba, who's in a good pocket of space in front of me. I'm Ander Herrera, and I want to pass it to Pogba, who's right in front of me. Sometimes the game will just pass it up to a winger. That's like, I did not want to go that way. I wanted to go to Pogba. He was more into more space in front of me, and it's so bad. The passing is the worst thing about this game, but that's intentional. So the worst thing in terms of gameplay aesthetics for me is once again the inconsistency of the difficulty. Once again, semi-pro is distressingly easily, and professional mode is insanely hard. And on professional, the difference I'm seeing in semi-pro and professional in particular is the way the movement works. Sometimes I'll pass it to a winger on semi-pro, and the winger you have, whether it's Martial or Lingard or whoever, just strides in front of the guy who's marking him, even if it's a simple pass and you can blow right by him. But on professional difficulty, you try that same pass, and Lingard or Martial receive the ball, a Stoke player, let's say a Stoke player for example, and this is very much like 2K used to be. Do you remember the overpowered centers that used to run so much faster than point guards? It's the same in FIFA for me this year. It's like you pass it to Martial, right? Martial, Rashford, two of the fastest players in the game. When you compare the sprint speed to like 90s. There's a guy with a sprint speed of about 80 who's able to catch Rashford stride for stride and knock him off the ball. And I'm like, oh my god, really? I'm running full pelt down the wing, down the pocket of space with Rashford, and I'm immediately closed down by a guy who's only got like 80 overall in terms of speed. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? It's ridiculous. It's very much like I said, the overpowered center in NBA a few years ago. It's the same thing I'm feeling here. So once again, there's such a discrepancy between semi-pro and professional, where semi-pro will be so easy and professional will be so difficult. There needs to be, like they did with the F1, they need to kind of find a middle ground difficulty that works for all. I can understand with the passing, but once again, the AI difficulty is the most frustrating thing about FIFA. The passing is a little frustrating, but at least I understand why they did that. Because the last 2 years of FIFA were insanely overpowered. The thing was the passing. So I understand it. But it's kind of frustrating me playing the game, and so many times sometimes I'm having to break character to just rage at something stupid that happened in front of me. And I didn't have to do that the last 2 years. So it's changed. The gameplay has changed, but has it changed for the better? I don't think so. I think it's changed and it's made it worse. Like I said, I can't make a simple pass to a guy 2 inches in front of me because the guy I'm passing with has it like overhits it randomly. I'm not even intending to do that. He'll overhit it, and the guy I'm trying to receive it with has to run after it, and we lose the ball. It's ridiculous. The FIFA 18 gameplay wise is one of the worst FIFAs I've played. But in some cases, I can understand why they made the changes they did. But again, the AI difficulty is inconsistent. But I still love the way I'm doing the FIFA with the broadcast style commentary and the fact that I've put Greg Popovich in the game. It's still fun to do, but the gameplay is just a bit more frustrating this year. And I think I understand why that to a degree, but again, the AI difficulty can be very inconsistent and it'll annoy me sometimes. Alright, these next 2 games are virtually stream exclusives, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Final Fantasy 15. I actually treated myself to these couple of games thanks to various Amazon vouchers and money received from friends and family. I was able to purchase these 2 games for myself. Now you know why these 2 are going to be stream exclusive. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Final Fantasy 15 are huge, big games that would take so long to upload if I did these as a playthrough. It would take me probably 2 years to do a Grand Theft Auto 5 playthrough, and maybe even twice the size of that in a Final Fantasy 15 playthrough. And obviously, with them being big travel open worlds, it can be rather difficult to do a playthrough of, especially in the parts where you're traveling to the other side of the city. Say in Grand Theft Auto 5, you're traveling to the other side of the city, and it can be very boring to watch me just drive. Yes, I could edit those things out, I guess. I should really try to do that, perhaps. I should just, you know, receive a mission and probably do a cut up to the next mission. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that should be a way I do these in the future, but I have not done a playthrough of an open world game yet. So what I'm probably going to do is something I'll mention later. I'm going to start mock recording these games and seeing how I can do them, because there's a particular game coming up in this video that I want to do, but the style of game kind of discourages me from it because of what they are. But these will mostly be stream exclusives. Maybe I'll stream record them. Maybe if I can get an open world kind of setup where I can kind of do things without doing things that are too tentative and boring to watch, like traveling to the other side of the city to the next mission, then I'll do that. So maybe I'll do that, you know, maybe that would be a good thing to do. But mostly these 2 are going to be stream exclusive playthroughs that I will obviously archive for 2 weeks Maybe I should just upload the archives of the streams, who knows? Maybe I should just do that and do stream call playlist or something of various games I'm doing. Maybe. We'll have to see. If anyone has any tips for that, let me know. I want to know if I can do these as a playthrough and not have it too long or too boring to watch. Even though I am kind of leaning more towards streaming than YouTubing recently, I still want to kind of keep the YouTube channel at least somewhat consistent, if not anything else. But yeah, these are going to be They're going to be exclusive playthroughs on stream, mostly, because these are bigger games than, say, your Uncharted 4 or something like that. But yeah, I can't wait to play this. I've watched some streams of Final Fantasy from Julio and Naruto and other players, and I just love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love how it all looks and feels and plays. And with Grand Theft Auto 5, I own the disc version. Traded it in when I decided to go digital with all my games, and never bought Grand Theft Auto 5 back. So I finally made amends for that. I was able to do it thanks to Christmas night. So thank you, people that gave me that. Alright, next. Formula 1 2017 actually goes... I'm going to go a bit more into other Formula 1 games rather than 2017. I've kind of thought of the way I'm going to do it. I'm probably not going to do a career mode on this game. I think, again, it's probably going to be a career mode on F1 2017 is a bit more difficult for me to do because I have to do other games and other well, I don't have to, but I do other games and other playthroughs and other streams, and sometimes I forget to edit the career race I did on something, or I'm editing another video on another game or something like that. So I probably won't do career mode on this game again, and at least I didn't really start it this time. But one thing I will do that features this game, I'm doing a bit of a yearly Formula 1 thing. I've decided to break my F1 kind of things into phases. Basically, what I'm doing with the Michael Schumacher years right now, if you guys have seen it or played it recently, is I go through a year of Championship mode or Grand Prix mode or anything like that, and I do a year kind of with the driver I'm choosing. Say, the Michael Schumacher years is 2006 to 2012, the final 4 years of Michael Schumacher's career in Formula 1, and it's a bit of a history rewrite kind of thing. And the kind of all the stats and things I earned during the season and all the stories, they all carry over into the next season. I'm looking to kind of expand after F1 2012 is done. I mentioned this in the Spanish Grand Prix race that I did, that I'm planning to kind of expand it beyond 2012. Here's the idea I've got in mind. Phase 1 is F1 2006 to F1 2012, which is the Michael Schumacher years. That playthrough will run its full course from F1 2006 to F1 2012. That'll be the entire season, and all the stats will carry over. At the end of 2012, I will have all those stats carry over again, but I will pick a different driver, and this will be Phase 2, and it's going to be 2013 and 2014. The driver I decided to go with is Nico Hülkenberg, and it's going to be Nico Hülkenberg, the underrated story. It's going to be throughout F1 2013 and 14. The reason I've picked Hülkenberg is because I really feel that he's really underrated as a driver and really has deserved a top seat for so many years now. Unfortunately, in F1 2013 he was at Sauber, so I can't really expect much in terms of results and race wins there. And in 2014 he was with Force India, so again I could be stuck in the midfield. But you know, it's kind of to fill those years out, so you know, it won't feel so blank if I go straight to F1 2015 and miss 13 and 14 out. I can do 14 through F1 2015, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play F1 2015 with Hülkenberg, and I'm going to pick the 2014 season and do the year on that. Phase 3 is going to be F1 2015 to be decided, really. It's going to be Forza Seb, and I'm going to restart Forza Seb from the beginning. So basically, it's going to be Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari from F1 2015 to F1 2017 currently. They might do an 18, 19, 20. It'll be either, and the phase will either be from 2015 to whenever Seb leaves Ferrari, if he does beforehand, or till 2020 until he leaves, or until F1 games stop being made. And that's basically going to be the thing. So F1 2015, 16 and 17 will be Phase 3, and it'll be Forza Seb will be Phase 3. The reason I've chosen Sebastian Vettel is really very simple. I'm kind of a semi-Ferrari fan. I don't really have a fan as a team, but Sebastian Vettel is one of my favourite drivers currently. I know it's a bit of a controversial pick, but to be honest with you, I think Max Verstappen is winning me over in terms of, you know, favorite driver in the field overall. Right now, Max Verstappen is winning me over. The kid's insanely talented. He has insane bad luck. I mean, what I could do is maybe do a phase 2.5 where I do these years as Max Verstappen as well. Maybe I could do that. I'll focus on Forza 7 more for the moment and get that done, but maybe I'll go back one day and probably do a Max Verstappen from 2015 to whenever Max Verstappen decides to leave. But I think F1 games could stop being made by then. It kind of depends. But Forza 7 is going to be the main phase 3, and maybe I'll do Max Verstappen for a phase 2.5 or something like phase 3.5 or something like that. So yeah, phase 1, the Michael Schumacher years, F1 2006 to F1 2006 to F1 2012. Phase 2, Nico Hulkenberg, the underrated story, F1 2013 and 14. And then Forza 7 returns in 2015. The reason I say that is because if you guys have been following the channel for the last couple of years, you'll know that I did Forza 7 Championship Season playthrough on F1 2015, but I did it with the Share Factory, and of course the Share Factory's quality isn't as good as, say, a capture card. So I decided to kind of restart that once the underrated story for Hulkenberg is over, and bring Forza 7 back, do it with a capture card, do it with some editing, some proper editing with my video editing software and all that. So it'll be a restart Forza 7 with better stuff and better editing and things like that. As you've seen from my Schumacher years, my editing is kind of really getting there, and it's really looking cool with the Schumacher years. But obviously Nico Hulkenberg, Forza 7 are quite a way away yet, and obviously there'll be some changes to each one, but there's no really reason to think that right now because the Schumacher years hasn't finished yet. The reason I'm doing that over career mode is because I don't really have to worry about timelines and deadlines. You know, I can keep these games as long as I need them, and take as long as it takes for these 3 stories to play out. Whereas with if I did career mode, I'd only probably want to do 2 or 3 seasons, and then I'd probably be doing the same thing career mode the next year with Mick Schumacher. So if I did it with Schumacher in 2016, I'd then be having to do it with Schumacher in 2017 with a completely different scenario, and he'd still be a rookie or something. So it would be weird. Maybe if I was to do a multi-season career mode on F1 2017, because I love the handling of the cars in that game. I love the way it works and the way it feels. It doesn't feel insanely easy or insanely hard. It feels perfect on the difficulty setting I've got on it. So if I was to do a career mode on F1 2017, it would probably be that. But I like Commander in F1 2016, so I don't know. I'm not really thinking about a career mode right now, but definitely in F1 games cases, definitely that's the kind of story I'm doing. Phase 1 being the Schumacher years, Phase 2 with Nico Hulkenberg, and Phase 3 with Sebastian Vettel. So I can have a kind of yearly thing with all stats carrying over that everyone has earned in those various seasons, and yeah, it could be kind of a rolling series where the storylines are my own kind of thing. So that's kind of the reason for that as well. Alright, moving on. Tekken 7. I don't really know what to say about Tekken 7. I mean, I love playing it. I absolutely love playing it. It's a Tekken game. It's my shit. I just haven't really recorded anymore since the character medley, to be honest. You know, by the time Geese Howard came out, I was having capture card troubles. Maybe I'll catch up. Maybe I'll catch up and do some Madness series somewhere. I'll definitely stream most of it still, though. I'm definitely going to stream some Tekken. I streamed Tekken Tag Tournament 2 last night, so I'll be still streaming it. I don't know whether I'll be recording much of it again. It probably depends. Right. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. You guys know why I'm keeping Life is Strange Before the Storm, with the farewell episode being later this month. Moving on. One thing I will say is a bit later on, I did mention this in the playthrough at the final episode at the finale. I actually mentioned that I will be one day in the future buying Life is Strange for the game PC on Steam and playthroughing that on stream. Because I've already done it for YouTube, I'll do it stream exclusive on the Steam version and make the reverse choices to what I made in the console version. That is all I'm saying. Let's move on. F1 2015 and 16 I've already talked about. Resident Evil 7. I have been turned, lads. I have been turned on Resident Evil 7. I've been kind of thinking this throughout the year. And then, I think it was in October or something, they announced this, the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition, which basically is the full game and all the DLCs that have come out of it since. So, yes, I wasn't too keen on Resident Evil 7 beforehand when it came out, so I passed on it. Good thing I did, because now I get to play this. And this is actually going to be one of my opening playthroughs for 2018. This is going to be my first new playthrough that I'm planning to do. Hopefully. I mean, I don't really know much about it. I don't know how difficult it is or not. I don't know how it's going to work. It's obviously going to work like a Resident Evil game where there isn't a lot of open world. So, I'm most likely going to play through it. I could stream through it. Maybe it could be one of those stream things where I go on stream with it and I kind of record it for YouTube as well. Maybe that could be a thing. But hopefully, I'm hoping to get a full playthrough of this up, including the DLCs. I'll have to do the DLCs in a separate playlist because I don't know how the DLCs work in terms of the overall story, because I've not watched a playthrough of it yet. I've watched probably a couple of opening videos from Vash, but I haven't watched the full entire playthrough of it yet, so I don't really know what to expect too much. So I wanted to leave it blind in case one day I was turned, and I was, and here it is. So yeah, I've been turned, guys, and it's going to be one of my opening playthroughs for 2018, split with something else which I'll mention when we get to the PC. For Resident Evil 6, we started it, as you can see. We have started the playthrough. We've had to put it on hold because Lady Tomla wants to buy a Blue Snowball microphone for herself. The way she kind of synths and records and stuff, she actually figured that Blue Snowball would be easier for her to use, so we've had to put it on hold whilst we're doing that. And now that I've actually sorted, and now we've actually got the Discord thing working, because as you know at the beginning, I haven't mentioned this yet, but we're actually able, if you watch Resident Evil 5, actually I will say this now, this is why we're sticking with Elgato. This is one of the main reasons why we're sticking with Elgato, is because of its sound capture feature. Now, the PlayStation 4, as you know, isn't really great in terms of, you know, allowing party audio whilst having a headset on and things like that. But thanks to the sound capture in the Elgato software, you're able to implement your kind of Skype calls or things like that during your playthrough. So what we did with Resident Evil 5 with the Skype call is, we were in a Skype call and we implemented that Skype call into our playthrough, and it worked well. It worked wonders. It was so much better than trying to have a party and set that up. It was such a pain in the ass to be in a party and have no audio. See, if I was to do this, basically, let's just show you this quickly. I know it's gonna probably make the update a little bit longer, but if I was to do this, if I was to, where is it? Alright, my headphones aren't plugged into my controller. Okay, let me do this. Let's do this quickly. Now, if I plug my headphones into my controller, what is it in? Let's see. Yep, look. You guys aren't hearing anything right now, even though it's on all audio. I don't really know why that is. You guys would hear nothing. So if we were in a party, there you go, take it out. So if we were in a party and I had it on all audio and we were recording, you guys would never hear the sounds in the game. Why it does that, I have no idea. Xbox, it's slightly easier, but if we do a co-op playthrough on the Xbox, we'll just stick with the Discord chat. Because the reason I say Discord chat is because we're using Discord for future playthroughs, because soon after we completed Resident Evil 5, the playthrough, my Skype calls decided to stop working. So we went to Discord instead. I tested the Discord voice chat quality during a stream of Lady Tomla playing Resident Evil 5 because she wanted to get the stuff done. We'll talk about that in a second. But during a stream of Resident Evil 5 that Lady Tomla did, I tested the Discord voice quality. It is absolutely pristine and great. It really is. So we're going to be, now, if we ever do a co-op playthrough with more than one person, you'll be able to hear all the voices and all the stuff in the game. Sound capture is a godsend for that. Elgato is just trumping it in terms of capture cards and the way the stuff works. Elgato is just the best out there, guys, in my opinion. So that's for Resident Evil 6. So that's on hold while we wait for Lady Tomla to get her kind of new microphone, as it were. Well, it'll be new to her anyway. Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy, I completely kind of forgot about it. I planned to do a playthrough and then got just stuck on this bridge for for Crash Bandicoot 1. Do you remember those bridges? Oh my god, those ice bridges were terrible, and they are hard. I think I'm probably going to restart these playthroughs because now I'm learning a lot more about my video editing software. So if I really struggle at some point, I'll just edit it accordingly. I'm learning so much more about my video editing software, so I think I'm definitely going to restart that again because I love Crash Bandicoot as a series. I loved Crash Bandicoot 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's just that the first Crash is really fucking hard. That game is hard as hell. Good reason though. That's a good thing. But yeah, hopefully, maybe one day in the future, maybe this can go into stream record mode and maybe I could do this. But I kind of want to record it. I kind of do. And now that I can do my video editing software, maybe this will work better. Hopefully. But Crash 1 is a hard game. Resident Evil 5, I kind of semi-explained it a little bit. The reason why we're doing this is because Lady Time Lord made a newer account, which I will put on right now, actually, in case you guys don't actually know what it is. Actually, I'll just show you it. You can add her if you want, but she doesn't really go on a PS4 that much. Yeah, she made a Time Lady Games name, because you can't change your name on PS4. Not yet. Unfortunately, I think they could be thinking to do that, but sadly, with Lady Time Lord making that account, she can't change her old name to a new one because she's already made that account. So, what she wanted to do, or what she's doing over time, is she's grabbing all the trophies from all the games that she owns. She's putting them both on, like, she's keeping her games on her older account, playing it on her newer one, getting all the trophies, and then deleting them from her old account before she actually gets rid of her old account for good. Well, not get rid of it, but remove it from her hard drive. She'll be exclusively Time Lady Games at some point. But that was the reason why I've still got Resident Evil 5 on there, because I'm helping her through it. Sonic Mania, I'm really doing nothing more on this, but I'm owning it just because it's a Sonic game. I'm going to mention quickly, Sonic Forces. I hear that it's distressingly average, but I kind of want to play it. And I kind of want to play through it one day, but not right now. Not right now. I'm kind of discouraged a little bit from it, but I'm not at the point where I was with Sonic Boom, where I don't want to play it. But I'm just... I haven't done a Knuckles playthrough of this yet, so maybe I'll do that for stream one day. I'm keeping it just in case I decide to do that at some point. Right, Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zeroes is basically there because of the Phantom Pain, so we'll skip over that right now and go straight to Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. Now, myself and Lady Time Lord have been relatively falling in love with the Borderlands series. Pretty much since Tales from the Borderlands, we've always wanted to play the original games. Now, unfortunately, Borderlands: The Handsome Collection only features Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. It doesn't have the first game. But luckily, the first game is backwards compatible on Xbox One, and Samus agreed to play with us at one point during that. So, because Borderlands can be quite a long game, we may stick to streaming it. Lady Time Lord will definitely stick to streaming it because she only does co-op games. She does co-op games on her YouTube mostly. But I think Borderlands would be a bit too long for her to put up. The same with me. Because it's quite a long game and full of side quests, I think we're going to make Borderlands the exclusive streamed game. Now, Borderlands 1, we've already agreed with Samus Games to play with us. We don't know what he's going to do with Borderlands 2 and 3. Well, 2. Actually, there isn't a 3 yet. There is one being made, though. With Borderlands 2, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether he's got the Handsome Collection or not. I don't think he has. If we could persuade him to buy it, then great. But there's that. I don't know whether we could probably like give the game to Julio for the PS4 and play with him. I don't think he'd take it. Honestly, if we were to both put some money together and give Julio the Handsome Collection for PS4, I don't know if he'd take it. He's not really that kind of guy, so I don't think he would really take it. But if he does want to get the Handsome Collection and play Borderlands 2 with us on stream, he's more than welcome to. And we can all stream together and have hella fun on Borderlands 2, because that's such a good game. But yeah, it's not something we're really planning to YouTube playthrough of, because it could be quite difficult with all the travelling and side quests and things like that. That's another thing for Final Fantasy maybe. But yeah, That could be quite difficult to do. So we are planning to play on this, but it's going to be stream exclusive rather than. And if we do have to grind, it'll be in our own time. So with Metal Gear Solid 5, it's pretty much the same reason. But the reason I've been really put off doing this game is because it's not really a Kojima game. You can see his name there, but obviously with all the kind of controversy surrounding Hideo Kojima and Konami, it's kind of put me off playing any more Konami games. I think the way they treated Kojima is disgusting. The man's a legend, and now he's stuck up with Sony and made his own game studio and all that stuff, and he deserves it. Hideo Kojima deserves massive props. The guy's a legend. He read the most legendary ending of Metal Gear Solid 4. The guy's a freaking genius. I love that guy. He's probably one of my favorite developers. I want to put up Metal Gear Solid 5 as a playthrough though, because I do have all the others. So this might be one of those games where I actually try, because it's open world, this might be one of those games I actually start to try and see if I can do open world games. But just do it a bit differently. Maybe skip out the traveling and all the difficult parts and things like that. I can edit, so maybe Metal Gear Solid 5 will be the game that actually makes me do that. Because I do want to put it up, but not because... Well, actually I just want to put it up. Because I have all the other Metal Gears on there. So I think this will be the first game I sit and try to figure out what I can do with an open world game and how I could put it on YouTube and whether it will work or not. I'll put it on stream and I'll do stream records of it as well. But during the stream I'll be trying to do videos of it. So that might be the way that works. We'll see. It'll be one of those games I tried to test for that. Mortal Kombat X I've not played in months. If I was to go back to it now I get smashed, but I do love Mortal Kombat. It's kind of my shit next to Tekken, so yeah, I can't wait for the next Mortal Kombat, to be honest. I'm really waiting for that more than Injustice 2. Injustice 2 it's just full of guest characters and I'm not really interested in it really. That's the reason why it's not there. Resident Evil 0, I started the playthrough and haven't really gone back to it since. I really should do. And I've really got nothing more to say on that. Batman Arkham Asylum, the playthrough is done, so there's no more to tell you about that. I did both sides of the story for Resident Evil, the original, the remake original, the remake of the original. I've done both sides of the playthrough. I've done it on Twitch for Chris and on YouTube for Jill. I messed up with Chris because I didn't save Rebecca and got the not so good ending. Batman Arkham Knight and Arkham City, open world games, so they will mostly be stream exclusives. But if I can work out something with my Elgato, and well, not my Elgato, but with my editing, if I can find a way that open world games don't turn out to be boring slogs, then maybe I'll put these games up. Because I do have Arkham Asylum on there, so it probably would make sense, especially for Arkham City. I might make an exception. Arkham City might be another one where I try to play through it, and Dead Rising actually might be another one that I try to do. I'll mention more about that a little bit later. Right, now we're going to be in the PlayStation Store for a bit, because I'm actually going to talk about some games that I'm relatively interested in that have confirmed on the store right now. Far Cry 5 is kind of an interest to myself and Lady Time Lord. We love the kind of trailer that they showed. So we're kind of interested in that. But unfortunately we haven't played a Far Cry game before, so that will be a brand new experience. MLB The Show, I actually missed last year's game. So I actually might get this year's one. I do have a small interest in baseball. And I do like, again, with like NBA 2K, I do kind of like the commentary feel and the presentation feel of the game. So I might do that. Ni no Kuni, no, probably not. The Crew, I didn't like the first one. I don't know what any of these games are. UFC could be an option. UFC could be an option. Shadow of the Colossus, I'm interested, but I don't think I've ever played one before, so that might be fun. But here's the big one, guys. Here's the one. Julio has tempted me to get it. Dragon Ball FighterZ, the big one. Released on January 26th. So that's later this month. So, interesting. Yes, I will be getting this game, even though I have no knowledge at all of the Dragon Ball franchise. But my friend Julio is really wanting me to play it. So, yeah. Monster Hunter, not really got much interest in it, really, because I've never really played Monster Hunter, and that's pretty much it. Okay, Back to the Future, probably not gonna do because it's hard. I might do it. It depends. I might even go to the PC version for that because I already did the first episode on there. Beyond Two Souls is something I might return to for streaming because there's another bunch of trophies I could get. Black Knight Retribution is busted on PC anyway. It might not be busted on console. Might have a look at that. It's free to download for me now because I purchased it. Bloodborne, no. I tried to stream and I was terrible and it kind of put me off. Call of Duty, no. Dead Rising, I'll probably talk about now actually. Even though we are going to play the Dead Rising series exclusively on Xbox because it was an Xbox exclusive for the longest time. Another reason for that though is because I, in particular, could marathon the Dead Rising series. Now Lady Time Lord, probably not. She might do Dead Rising 2 or Off the Record, but mostly Dead Rising. She might do Dead. If she was to do Dead Rising 2, she'd have me. If see with Dead Rising, I could marathon it, but Lady Time Lord can't because I would have to do Dead Rising 1 for her because she'd find it rather difficult. But I could. I loved Dead Rising 1 the second time playing through it, and what's quite weird about that is Dead Rising 1, I hated it when it first came out. I'm not going to be the first to admit I hated this game when it first came out. I did not get it at all. But once I learned a few things about it, got the chainsaw that's almost unlimited, I really enjoyed the game, and I really did really well on my first completed run of the game. I don't have the achievements for Xbox One, and it is an Xbox One exclusive. And on Xbox One, you can get the backwards compatibility versions of Dead Rising Case Zero and Dead Rising Case West, which gives me the perfect opportunity to marathon the entire series. And Dead Rising, whereas it's not as open world, it's not as open world as say Final Fantasy 15. So with it being a little bit lower than that, maybe a playthrough I could do. That's one thing I'm going to mock record at some point. I'm going to try, and I'm going to mock record the PS4 version and try and see if I can get a Dead Rising 1 playthrough up. If I can, then I will, and I'll stream record it, because I think that would be really fun. So Dead Rising is a series I'm looking to marathon at some point in the future, possibly with all the Dead Risings available on Xbox One now. Destiny, well, there's Destiny 2, so I haven't actually got the Destiny game, so no. No. Fahrenheit, maybe. I could stream the PS4 version, but it kind of looks like shit, because it's the emulated version, unfortunately. Finding EX Leia, I don't know. I'm not particularly keen on that for some reason. I think it's the controls. God of War 3 Remastered, which brings me to PlayStation Now, but something I'm not really going to do. PlayStation Now, it's too expensive for me. It really is. I prefer Xbox Game Pass, to be honest. But 1 month I might buy it and play the PS Now versions of God of War 1 and 2. Unfortunately, you have to stream those, so that might be a problem. I'll see. But God of War 3 is definitely an option if I get that to work. Guilty Gear, Revelator 2, I could, but I suck at it right now, so I need to practice some more. I've only removed it to save up some space at the moment. If you know, if anyone wants to fight me on that, I'll gladly re-download it again. I'm just saving some space for the minute. Infamous Second Son is definitely a game I could go back to. I could stream this, open world and everything. Infamous is certainly a series I want to check out. You don't necessarily have to play the first two to know about it. Jak and Daxter, no, I'm not really encouraged by the difficulty of that, so I'm probably going to just miss that. Life is Strange done, Madden done, Too Old. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I've been playing on and off for quite a while. I could play it. I think I might record a session. But I'm not really... I'm getting better at it, but I'm only saving up some space at the moment. But I think I might record a session. Do a character medley of it, and see how it goes. Because I kind of like it, but I kind of don't as well. Because of how much the characters cost. They're insanely overpriced, in my opinion. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, I haven't got it anymore, and I can't download it. Minecraft Story Mode, I kind of did. I might go to the PC version for Minecraft Story Mode. because I actually want to get the achievements for that, but I'm not really going to complete the game because I feel episode 4 was a better ending than most of it. Whereas these games are insanely old. Or Overwatch, definitely not playing any of that anymore. I'm too far behind to jump into Overwatch and do anything decent on it. Resident Evil 4, that could be an option. I think I've got most of the stuff on that though. Battlefront 1, possibly, but Battlefront 2's out, but I'm not particularly fond of Battlefront 2 whatsoever, and all that pack nonsense. Oh my goodness. The Last of Us Remastered, I deleted my game save because I'm an idiot. So I'm going to have to play through it once to unlock New Game Plus, and then maybe do a New Game Plus stream. I may do that, but I don't want to play it like 4 or 5 times already. I've already had to play it 3 times because of various things. Titanfall 2, Rainbow Six Siege I want, but I think I'm too far behind at this point. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'm terrible at it. It's Ultra Street Fighter 4, I could do a character mentally altered. People are still playing the game. Uncharted is done. Better on 2 wheels than 4 with motorbikes. Valiant Hearts Great War, I forgot I had that actually. Wipeout, no, I'm probably too far behind. Worms Battlegrounds, there's better Worms games out there, there's newer ones, and that's about it. So that's everything. I think the last thing I have to mention before I go is a future plan, and that's for Detroit. Detroit, the game from Quantic Dream actually. I'm glad I remembered that. That's getting played through. That's getting played through. That's getting streamed. That's getting busted the hell out of it. I might even try and 100% that game, because there's so many different ways the game can go, and that just really excites me. That really does. I cannot wait to play that game. So I think that's pretty much it. Obviously there's maybe some stuff I've missed out because of skeptical release dates. Soul Calibur 6, I've just remembered it. Soul Calibur 6, definitely buying that. It's looking so good right now. So I'm definitely playing that when it comes out. And I think that's pretty much it on the PlayStation side. So I think we should get through this video rather quickly now, because I haven't got as many games on the other platforms. So let's start with the Xbox One. As you guys know, I only focus on the Xbox One exclusives. Pretty much the reverse to what I did last year when I bought everything for the Xbox 360 and only focused on the PS3 exclusives. This gen I'm focusing on PS4 for everything and the Xbox One exclusives. Killer Instinct 2013 then, I think the game has run its course, unfortunately. It's had a very good 4 years though. I've had some of the best fun I've ever had playing a fighting game playing this for the last 4 years. Unfortunately, I think the game has run its course. There's very few people playing it. I think the Steam version has come out maybe a year and a half too late, unfortunately. The crossplay feature is nice, but I think the Steam version has come out far too late to really keep the game going. But my God, has it been a great 4 years playing this game. There's no denying that. And I kind of hope there's a sequel to it. Because I think after 4 years now, this one has run its course. I hope there's a sequel, but we haven't really heard anything, so I don't know. For Gears of War 4, I think I'm pretty much done in terms of recording. I've only got the playthrough up because I didn't really enjoy the multiplayer or Horde that much. I don't enjoy playing this game. I really don't. The story's okay, but the multiplayer, I just don't enjoy playing it because for the most part, you just get people leaving the game or quitting the game, and it's just no fun. So, you know, I dropped it months ago. I've kind of got back into it a little bit now, and I'm playing a little bit more, but I'm still running into quitters and leaving the match early. So it's just, there's nothing to enjoy about the multiplayer of this game. And you all know my stance on this pack bullshit. That it's just another nail for this game for me. Gears of War 4 is a good game, but it's just nowhere near the rest of the trilogy. That's plain and simply what it is. Ultimate Edition is fully done. I don't think I'll be doing anything on that again. Zoo Tycoon could be fun. I am a real animal lover, so Zoo Tycoon's going to be great. I haven't actually started up the game at all yet, so I might jump into stream and maybe even record it. Who knows? But I'm certainly looking to get some of this out sometime. Now, the big thing, aside from Dead Rising, which I mentioned earlier, the other big thing Xbox exclusive-wise is to marathon the Halo series with Lady Time Lord. Now, mainly because Lady Time Lord's got some gaps in the Halo series. She's never fully completed Halo 2, and when we played the anniversary game, we played that anniversary edition, We didn't finish Halo 5, and I don't think we finished... Well, we finished Halo 4, but it was a disaster. We were pretty bad at that. But I think the main reason being is because Lady Time Lord has those gaps. She has Halo 2 missing. She's not completed that yet. So I thought, at some point in the next year or so, we'll sit down when Resident Evil 6 is completed. We'll sit down and we'll start playing through the Halo series. And we'll start from the beginning. We'll start with Halo Reach, because I'm going to tell you something. I love Halo Reach. I absolutely love Halo Reach. I love it. The story, it's a great prequel. It's like Life is Strange Before the Storm. It's a great prequel. You know, this is how prequels should be done. Gears of War Judgment turned into a bit of a flop. Halo Reach proved what a prequel can do. I seriously believe Halo Reach is just absolute proof of how great a prequel can be when you do it right. And with Halo Reach, they did it absolutely right. It's such a great game, and we're definitely going to start there. The other game Lady Time Lord is missing is Halo ODST. I believe we didn't play that one either. So we'll be actually playing through the Halo series and going through those gaps that Lady Time Lord's missed, and we'll be pretty much ready for Halo 6. Are we going to buy it? Probably, but I don't think we're going to rush to buy it, because Halo 5, from what I've heard, isn't outstanding. Halo 4 wasn't great to me either. You know, it's like the second trilogy is, again, like Gears of War, the second trilogy has been nowhere near the first at the moment, and it's kind of gone with what I've said a few times, where I don't really have really liked sequels that much, and games like Halo 5 and Gears of War that have continued and don't need to are kind of the reasons why. You'll see when we eventually get to those playthroughs, but seeing as we haven't finished Resident Evil 6 yet, this won't be for a while, but when we do, you'll see it, and Halo Reach will start things off. Forza Horizon 3 is pretty much a Stream exclusive at this point. I've never really played a game like Forza Horizon before, so it should be fun to jump into if we can. The Gears of War series is fully covered and done. I don't really need to play it. I probably might stream. I'm actually streaming the Insane playthroughs of these. I actually forgot to mention that. I'm actually doing the Insane playthroughs of these. I'm going to do it on stream because I haven't got the Insane achievements on my newest account. So I'll be doing that with the Gears of War series. I'll be doing the Insane playthroughs as Stream exclusives. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is pretty much there because it's a Tekken game, and I streamed some last night, and that was really fun. And with Soul Calibur 2, it's a bit more difficult. I don't know if anyone's actually playing this game. If there is, I might jump on a set for it. I might do some stream recordings of that maybe. Unfortunately, it doesn't include Soul Calibur 4, so that sucks, because I want to go around kicking people's asses as Starkiller, because he's OP as fuck. Starkiller was so broken, and I absolutely loved it in Soul Calibur 4. It's very unfortunate. The only other Soul Calibur game they've got as backwards compatibility is the first Soul Calibur. They've got 1 and 2, they've skipped 3, they haven't done 4, 5, meh, and 6 is looking great at the moment. We've already kind of explained things for Borderlands, so that's pretty much it on the owning front. So the biggest thing about the Xbox One is obviously the backwards compatible catalog. I've looked in the games coming soon, and there's not really a lot there, so I'll talk about the backwards compatible catalog a moment, because there's a few games I want to talk about that I'll plan to do there. I may do Sonic Adventure 2, I may stream that just to get the achievements. Of course, there's really nothing on this second row, it's anything I want to play. Child of Eden is a Kinect game, and I haven't got a Kinect, so that doesn't work. So, this is the newest thing they're doing. They haven't really added that much yet, but of course, as you know from last year's E3, Xbox announced that they're going to be doing original Xbox backwards compatibility games, and that opens up a whole new plethora of options for playthroughs. Ninja Gaiden Black is one of them. I actually played a demo of a Ninja game for years, but I haven't really played a full one yet. Knights of the Old Republic, I don't know the first thing about it. Prince of Persia is actually a game I played back on the PlayStation 2. I think that'd be really fun to go back to, so I might do a playthrough of that because it's not very open world-ish, and it's actually not that hard. The puzzles are a bit mind-bending, but as far from that, it's a really good game. I actually really enjoyed the Sands of Time Prince of Persia game, so I'm definitely playthroughing that one. Red Faction 2 was actually a game I played the demo of quite a lot. I might jump into that as well. I really can't wait to delve into more of these and see what options they open up. Like, The James Bond game, Everything or Nothing. That was a really good fucking James Bond game. And I really want to play that game. There's actually a lot of Xbox originals that I really want to play. So I hope they stick to their word, Microsoft, and keep pumping out these Xbox One original games. Because I like the original Xbox games. Because I really want to play a lot of them. So God Advance Warfare, Sonic Adventure, no. Nothing here. Saints Row the 3rd, we could do that on PC. I don't know why they're doing this. You know, they're releasing The Walking Dead Season 2 as backwards compatible. Who gives a shit? You know, and no, it's like, why would you buy that when the remastered versions are out? I guess it's cheaper, to be fair. Now, that's unfortunate. Metal Gear Rising came out. I've already played it on YouTube, so I don't have to worry about that, but that's unfortunate. Epic Mickey, fuck no. Tomb Raider Underworld could be an option. I like some of the old... I've never really completed a full Tomb Raider game that's any lower than Tomb Raider 2013. So, Underworld could be an option. That's a really good game. Super Street Fighter 4, no. Nothing on this row, I don't think. Not F1 2014 anyway, Jesus Christ. No, not Assassin's Creed. Never really played it. Nothing there. Dead Space. Dead Space could be a trilogy I do. I own Dead Space 1, so I could own these two. I could play those two. They're options. Black Ops 1 and 2 could be an option. I like the Black Ops series for Call of Duty, so maybe, considering I don't have to pay, well, let's just see how much this is out of interest. It's probably fucking like 30 quid, because it's fucking Activision. But they do have Black Ops 1 and 2, and I have yet to play 3. 50, oh, okay, 16 quid, that's not too bad. I guess that's not horrible. So yeah, the Black Ops series could be an option. I'm not a big fan of COD, as you guys know, but I do like the Black Ops series, so that could be an option. Far Cry 3, Darksiders, no. Assassin's Creed, no. I don't really know the first thing about Assassin's Creed. Obviously, we've got the Case Zero and Case West, so there's your proof of what I was saying earlier. There's Borderlands 2. Ah. Right, okay. Well, we'll have to... What we could do then is just buy the backwards cap version and play with Sam? Possibly? I mean, it means the Hanson collection's pointless, but that's the only way we play with him, unless, of course, we kind of donated Julio the Hanson collection on PS4. We could do that, but I don't think he'd take it. Assassin's Creed, I don't know the first thing about it. Battlefield Bad 2 could be an option. Bayonetta 1, oof, I'll go into that later. Bayonetta 1, I'll go into that later. Nothing here. Beyond Good and Evil was supposedly good. Bioshock could be an option, but I think there's the remastered collection out, so I might pick that up instead. Bully's an option. I never played it though. Burnout Paradise could be a stream option. So there's Black Ops 1. So the Black Ops series is definitely a trilogy option. Castle of Illusion I wanted. The new Mickey Castle of Illusion, that's an option. I played the old one. Counter-Strike, no. Dark Souls, fuck no. just no. Not Dark Souls. I would tear my hair out playing that game. Dead Space, like I said, with Dead Space I can get the trilogy if I want. The 2 Dooms could be an option. I'll talk more about Doom in a minute. DuckTales Remastered, definitely a possibility. I really like DuckTales Remastered, that was really good. I played the Wii U version, I played through on the Wii U version, actually. Fallout could be a possibility for streams. Forza Horizon 2 could be an option. Well, Forza Horizon even. I think they got both on here, so they could be stream options. Final Fight could definitely be a possibility. Myself and Lady Tom Look could actually play through that for her channel, because she likes the side-scrolling, even though it's like Streets of Rage. The Gear series, Ghostbusters, Grid 2, Grand Theft Auto 4 could be an option. That could be a stream possibility. Halo Wars, the remastered version's out, so I could pick up Halo Wars, definitely. I think Halo Wars would be a bit hard though, because it's an RTS. I'm not really good at those. Nothing here. Injustice Gods Among Us, no one really plays it, I wouldn't have thought, because it's like years old and Injustice 2's out. Nothing there. Oh, these two could be an option. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were fun as hell, but I don't know who's playing them anymore, unfortunately. I think those games have come out too late for me. Now, the big ones, guys. Mass Effect is a definite yes. I am green-lighting Mass Effect. Will I do them this year? I don't know. But I am planning to play through the Mass Effects at some point. I want to get these off my to-do list. I've wanted to play Mass Effect for fucking years. and it just looks so good, and I just never really got around to it. Now, the problem with Mass Effect 2 and 3, I believe, is that you have to buy the discs. You can't purchase them on the list. Let's have a look at this. I don't think you can purchase them without a price. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Mass Effect 2 is $9.99 now. Oh my god. Is that true? Shit. So Mass Effect 2 is $9.99 now. Oh, I might have just stood corrected. I think they might have just... Oh. God damn it. I think they might have just re-released the backwards cap versions of Mass Effect. Well, Mass Effect 2 anyway. Let's see 3. Sorry about that. I pressed B too much. My bad. Come on. Where is it? Oh my god, but that's changed. That's changed since I last looked at this list. Lego games could be an option. Lego games could be an option, but... Let's see this. Let's see price. Does it have one? $9.99 for Mass Effect 3. They have made it downloadable titles. They've made Mass Effect all downloadable titles. I think. I'm seeing prices on them. Oh my god. Oh, press B twice again. God damn it. Sorry, guys. But it looks like... Oh, for fuck's sake. This fucking thing is slow to respond. God damn it, Microsoft. Improve the responsiveness of your fucking console. Anyway. Let's see. I just want to confirm this. I'm very curious. So, Mass Effect 1. It says C price. C price is $3.74. I might grab these immediately while I can, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. I might grab these immediately. 23 quid for 3 of them. That's not bad. But yeah, let's have a look at this again. Yeah, so it says buy for $9.99. So it looks like finally they have released download digital versions of Mass Effect 2 and 3. Thank God, because I was thinking about the PC versions, and the PC versions aren't controller supported. Mass Effect is the trilogy I've wanted to play for years. I've wanted to stream it for years. So I could be wrong, but that says to me that you can buy it for $9.99 and you can download it. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I mean, even if not, then that's okay. I'll just go and get the discs, if that's the case. But that looks to me like they fixed that. So thank God for that. Thank you, Midway, or... No, not Midway. BioWare, is it? I think it's BioWare for Mass Effect. So yeah, thank you, BioWare, for that. That's really helpful. Oh, that's great. That's the best news I've seen so far. That's brilliant. Ms. Pac-Man. Wow, really. It was Ms. Explosion Man, so I guess that makes sense. Perfect Dark is actually a series I'm really intrigued by because it's very similar to the 007 game GoldenEye, which I love to death on the X64. I wish they would have remastered it. Well, they kind of re-released it, but it's only re-released on like fucking that shitty fucking version that was crap. Red Dead Redemption is certainly a possibility. I actually might greenlight this because Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out, and I quite like Rockstar games, believe it or not. Rockstar games are some of the best games out there, and yes, that actually means I almost forgot. I'll mention LA Noire now because LA Noire is definitely a possibility I could do as well. Red Faction Battlegrounds. What was this? I don't remember that. Sonic. No, not Sonic. I could get Sonic just for the achievements. Soul Calibur. The Stick of Truth. Just buy the Fractured Butthole when you get the remastered version of Stick of Truth for 3. So probably don't bother with that too much unless you're strapped for cash. Oh my. These two are a definite yes. I am definitely going to do The Force Unleashed at some point, because I love these two games. I love Starkiller. I love these two games. I wish he was canon. I really do wish he was canon. Because then they could put him in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which they couldn't do because he's not canon, so that sucks. But I love these two games. This one, not as much as the first one. I like the first one better than this one because this one was really short and had kind of or was it this one that had a shitty ending? One of them had a really shitty endings. I think it might have been that one. I think that one was really short. I think it was really rushed, sadly. But I still like it. I still like it. I just don't think it's as good as the first one. Tekken 6 I could download and maybe try and play it, but I don't know if anyone's actually playing it. Oh, yeah, here's another two. We're definitely doing this. Myself and Lenny Talmud are definitely playing Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six Vegas 2 because Those two are really good fucking campaigns. Vegas 2 is a great campaign. We are definitely doing those.
How much are they, babe?
Well, I own them, so you'll have to have a look
Oh,
yourself.
okay, okay.
But yeah, these two are definitely getting done. They're great fucking campaigns. Seriously, they're so good. And nothing here and nothing here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I think from the exclusives I can remember, Crackdown 3 is a definite possibility of getting because that game looks fun as hell. Pug, God no, I would really suck at it if I came into it now. Sea of Thieves could be possible, that looked fun. The one I'm really looking forward to, I think, is Anthem. I think that's the one I'm really looking forward to the most. That looks really fun, from what I've seen of, and what I've seen of what it's been shown so far. The new game from EA, and I think it's BioWare. It's Anthem. It looks really fucking good. So yeah, but it looks like with Mass Effect they've kind of released digital versions. I hope that's the case. But it looks to me like you can buy them now. So that's really good. I'm happy about that. If that's the case, then sign me the hell up and I'm streaming those games. Alright, because they're quite long as well. They could be quite long playthroughs. I might try with those. Who knows? Alright, so I think next is to go to the Nintendo Switch and kind of show you the few games I have there. I do have a couple of ones I want in the future. Alright, so unlike a couple of years ago where I actually didn't have my Nintendo console with me because I took my Wii U round my dad to play my Smash Brothers with my family that year, I actually have my Nintendo console with me this time. And obviously it's in the form of the Nintendo Switch, one of my all-time favorite consoles, and Nintendo consoles specifically, rivaling the GameCube, because I absolutely love the GameCube in these games. So let's talk about this for a bit. This won't be very long. Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers. I think it's probably turned into more of a stream game. I've done my character medley. I could do a character madness or two, but I think it'll probably be more for stream. And this actually reminds me, in case I forgot to mention in the PlayStation 4 section, I am absolutely buying that 30th anniversary Street Fighter collection to play that game. Well, I say game, you get 12 games in it. I think I'm only going to be playing Super Turbo and Third Strike and maybe Alpha 3, because they're all the online games, of course. So I'll be playing mostly the online versions of those games, but now that I have a bit more experience having played this, I should be rather okay to jump into Super Turbo and Third Strike to play online, but I am definitely getting that in the future. I'm probably going to most likely get it for PS4 unless my friend Julio gets it for PC or something. I'm not entirely sure. Zelda Breath of the Wild is most definitely a stream game, and I don't think there's anything I'm more ready to say than that. Oh my god, oh my goodness. I so cannot wait to stream Mario Odyssey, man. I'm gonna let Lady Tombo do it first, because she hasn't streamed in a while, but this game is just the shit when it comes to Nintendo, when it comes to the Switch console itself. This is probably one of the best Mario games they have ever made. Probably since the first game. Super Mario Odyssey is the game of the Switch. Literally. And I can't wait to play it myself. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will be mostly stream, I would have thought, because it's Mario Kart, obviously. Pokken Tournament, I definitely am thinking of doing another character medley for this. I did rename my first Pokken Tournament set Volume 1. So I'm definitely going to do a Volume 2 of this, because I absolutely adore this game. I think it's one of the best fighting games out there right now. And it's newer than KI, so people will still be playing it right now with the new characters in it. And it's still not enough characters. Even with the addition of like the 4 new fighters, it's still not enough. The Pokemon universe is so much bigger than the amount of characters they have in this game, and I don't know why they missed it out on that. But you know, what can you do? I mean, the new guys includes one from Pokemon Sun Moon, so that's great. I actually like that idea. Finally, Splatoon 2, which is probably more of a streaming game than anything else, even though I do believe this game has some form of story mode. But I think the real fun, like all Nintendo games, the real fun is always in the multiplayer when it comes to Nintendo games. There is no doubt about that. So I guess lastly, it's an opportunity to jump to my PC, and I've actually got a game I want to announce on there. So we will go and do that. Alright, so just before we move into the PC section here, two things I forgot to mention about the Nintendo Switch. I'm hoping to pick up ARMS at some point and probably play that. I am kind of intrigued by how it is, but I haven't actually picked it up yet. And obviously we've got Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3, I think, was announced. And what they're doing with Bayonetta 3 is they're actually releasing Switch versions of Bayonettas 1 and 2. So I'm definitely playing through those two because Bayonetta is a kind of game that I've wanted to play. Bayonetta 2 was so good on the Wii U and Bayonetta 1 was so good everywhere else. So that's a trilogy I'm definitely looking to delve into as well. So last thing then is the PC version. There's not really much to talk about here, only like 3 or 4 complete games that I'm planning to do. Batman Arkham Origins because it's part of the Batman Arkham series, so it makes sense to do that. Doom really is a playthrough I've wanted to do and never really thought to buying it. And then ever since I met my friend Julio on the streams, and then I ended up buying Doom for PC. So I think I'm going to play through the game on the PC, and that will definitely be going on YouTube. The Evil Within, I want to play it. I didn't really like the screen resolution on the console version, so I'm hoping the PC version is a full screen resolution that I can actually see shit. The F1 games you already know about. Jurassic Park the game is certainly an option for playthrough purposes. Obviously it's a Telltale game, so it makes sense. I might also do Minecraft story mode on it if I decide to. KI came out a few years too late, for a couple years too late for PC users, on Steam anyway. And I guess the last thing I should really talk about, because Team Fortress 2 is something my brother plays, but I don't think even I need it anymore if my brother got his PC built for him. I'm not sure if he did, but if he did, I can finally delete that because he obviously would play that on his PC. So the last song here is the Mortal Kombat Complete Collection, which is obviously Mortal Kombat 9 and all the DLC aside from Kratos, because he was a PS3 exclusive. The reason why I'm thinking about this is really because I have Mortal Kombat X, is story mode, up on there, so I think it makes sense to have Mortal Kombat 9's story as well. As far as online goes, very unlikely, because I don't think anyone is really playing this game console or otherwise, and traditionally fighting game kind of players are mostly on console more than PC. That's something what I've noticed anyway. So that's it for this update. I'm Simichaos signing off. Until next time, peace.